All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another excited. Hi, everybody. I am still not okay, and my brain is not working, and my mouth doesn't work normally. But this is Daily December 2023, and this is day number 2. And I recorded day number 1 a few hours ago because I forgot that time is linear. And now I'm doing this one, and my brain hurts. So today, yesterday was kind of my introduction because I'm recording this so soon after, and not a whole lot has happened recently that has inspired me. Because most of today has been running my Zelda RPG. If you guys don't check that out, every Saturday, with a few exceptions when I can't get enough people to play, over on Zelda Universe's Twitch channel, it's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV, I actually run a Legend of Zelda themed RPG, and I've been doing it for over 6 years now. We're moving into 6.5. We're on our second campaign, and so I was running that this morning, and then I had meetings with players in my Fabula Ultima campaign to kind of finish their characters and everything. I did that all day today. So I am on RPG overload. And my brain is melted into a lovely pile of vanilla flavored pudding. And yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for Daily December this year. One of the things, I'll tell you what I would like to do, and it's not going to happen because I can't control anyone except for me, and I can barely control me. I would like to do podcasts, and not like full on, welcome to the Trainer Jody Hour, where today we're going to be talking about muffins and why they're awesome. But just having guests on and having just conversations with them as a few of my Daily December stuff. And I had a podcast for a little bit. I think it lasted 4 episodes where I just brought people on to talk about. They still exist on this channel, where I had people come on and just talk about homebrewing stuff for D&D classes. And we would pick a class and we'd talk about, when I say this class, what comes to your mind when you hear this class? Like, if you're going to play in an RPG and they have this particular class, what should this class be able to do? And then we would talk about, okay, well, what kind of weird ways can we modify that that either do or don't exist already? And that's what we did, is we just talked about D&D stuff for like an hour. And it was really fun. But scheduling nonsense like that is just not fun. I spent months trying to get people. It's like, I need an hour of your time. I just need an hour. It's just an hour. I promise. It's only an hour. Nobody had a free hour in like 6 months. And that's always how it works, because most of the people that I know, not bragging here or anything, most of the people I know are relatively successful people that do a lot of different things. And so because of that, they're very busy, and it means that when I ask them to do things, they have to rearrange their schedules and stuff like that, and it just becomes a nightmare. But that's what I'd like to do. I've had this idea for a show for a while that I'll see if I can't get at least 1 episode of it to happen during Daily December. But I had this bright idea where I would invite someone to kind of a podcast thing, and then we would just pick an RPG system and we would build characters in it for a little while. And while we're building the characters, we would just kind of shoot the shit and just talk about whatever comes up. Because when I used to do conventions, that was something that I did with other DMs, and it was really fun. And I think it could be a really interesting way to structure a kind of talk show style of a podcast. Because, there's 1.5 million podcasts where it's just one person basically interviewing another person. And that gets really old really, really quickly. But the idea of 2 people working together to create interesting kind of weird characters or character sheets basically, while also kind of using that as a way to kind of talk about other topics and things like that as we create these characters. I think that would be really, really cool, and I think it'd be really, really interesting. Like I said, the biggest problem is I can't do it by myself, and finding people to do that with is a nightmare. So, yeah, that is something that I'm going to try and do this month, because again, the whole purpose of Daily December is I want to try new things, and even if I fail, I think I've mentioned this quite a few times here. Success is a nasty teacher. It really is. It lies to you. It makes you think you're good at things that you're not. Success sucks as a teacher. Failure, on the other hand, is a phenomenal teacher. It lets you know exactly what not to do effectively, and you will know very, very quickly what you can't do. It doesn't always tell you what you can do, but it's very, very simple to figure out what you can't do. And the largest moments of growth in your entire life are going to happen because of failure. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure is the absolute best way to learn and grow. We should encourage failure amongst people, because when you fail and treat that failure as you yourself are a failure, then you're not going to learn anything from it, and it's just going to rip you apart. But when you get the idea that failure is a good thing, and you treat it as, oh, I've learned a new way to do something, or a new way not to do something, then you can see huge, huge growth. So yeah, whether or not this works or not, that is one of my goals for this year. I have a couple other ideas that I've been kicking out. Like I have done everything short of writing the steps down to create a like Dungeon Master kind of reality TV show web series type thing. Like Hell's Kitchen or MasterChef or something like that, or Forged in Fire, but for dungeon mastering. And or Last Comic Standing, I guess, would probably be the closest amalgamation, or American Idol or something like that. And so I've come up with a really cool idea to do something like that, but it would require a shit ton more people than just me to do it. And so because of that, and I have no ability to create my own production company or anything. I can barely record a video a day. I don't see that ever seeing the light of day. But maybe part of this will be me actually writing stuff down, and maybe someday I can, contact someone who does have the resources to do it and make it into a real thing. Who knows? But yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that this is my second video for today, and I'm also unbelievably exhausted after just having to deal with everything all day, I would probably have something cooler to say. But for right now, those are my immediate plans. And in addition to those things, I'm going to have other things that I want to do. I would probably have at least one or two rants that I do. They've officially announced when the core book for D&D 5.5, I refuse to call it 1D&D because it's not. But D&D 5.5 is coming out in May. So I may talk about that. If you guys are really interested, I might talk about the most recent playtest that came out. Which, by the way, if the book is shipping in May, any playtest feedback that they get will be errata. It will not be in the book. I will almost guarantee the book is either already been sent to the printers or is in its absolute final stages before it gets sent to the printers. Because it takes a long time to print, hundreds of thousands of books that they will be printing for this. So, yeah, if anyone was thinking that, you could make massive suggestions that they were going to redo the entire barbarian class or something because you don't like how it's done now, it's not happening. They might get little tweaks and fixes that don't take too much, but if it's going to be in people's hands in by May, it is probably already finished or pretty damn close to it, because printing that many books, bare minimum, is going to take at least a few months, and getting everything proofed and all that stuff. That in and of itself takes weeks or months. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic about it. The first changes that they made in the early playtest stuff sucked massively, but so did D&D Next. Like, the original version of D&D Next was massively dumb. And it slowly turned into 5th edition, which is probably the best designed version of Dungeons & Dragons that has ever existed. And it's one of the best designed RPGs on the market currently. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't care. It's a fact. I'm not saying it's the absolute best. If you have one that you think is better, that's perfectly fine. But this is a really solid system. And the changes that they have made with the playtest, the most recent version of it, I actually don't think are that bad. I like the new monk. I don't like absolutely everything about it, but I think it's a nice direction that they took it. I don't think it was necessary to take it in that direction, but I think it's a reaction to a lot of people just not understanding how monks worked in 5th edition. And so I think I would like the new version of the monk. But anyway, this is going to be a short one. If anyone has ever watched my Daily Decembers, this is stuff before. Brevity is not something I'm good at. So the fact that this is under 20 minutes is a huge thing for me. And it also means, hopefully, it'll come out tonight. Yeah, anyway, that's going to be all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Bye-bye.